What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One Eye Bri, back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 9. And in this video, I'm going to cover The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 13, sneak peek about the Kingdom and a new group that we're going to meet next episode in Episode 913. So obviously, if you're worried about spoilers, just stop watching. But like I said, we're going to talk about the sneak peek and the promo trailer for Episode 913 of The Walking Dead. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. What does it mean? First and foremost, what does this symbol mean? It looks to be the symbol of the Highwaymen. And before I cover it, I have to say thank you to all the sources, all the people that were telling me about the Highwaymen before the Season 9 back half started. Everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know who you are. But the Highwaymen are coming, and the sneak peek of Episode 913 confirms it right away. One thing that jumps out at me, well, several things jump out at me, are the candles behind Carol and Ezekiel. And people are going to be like, they're just candles, bro. Stop analyzing it. You're overthinking everything. But I see the candles as being symbolic. And I think I count 7 candles on each candle holder, candlestick. I'm not sure if that means we're going to get 7 victims or 14 victims or something big is going to happen in Episode 914. And it's just a theory and discussion point. Well, the note that Ezekiel is reading says, "We are the Highwaymen. The roads surrounding the kingdom belong to us. All visitors attempting to travel to your fair will be turned back unless you pay our toll." Then there's a list of goods for a ransom and a map with instructions for payment. So the Highwaymen want food, items, things to stay alive. Are there 7 Highwaymen? Are there 8 Highwaymen? Are there 14 of them? Is that what the candles represent? I don't know. It's just an idea and a thought. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. And again, we talked about the Highwaymen way before this episode because of people who told us potentially that it may be happening this season. And it's awesome that it is. And some people thought the symbol was an alpha symbol or a Greek letter for alpha, or it was an alpha symbol in the Whispers territory and their border. And all these channels were saying all this stuff, and people were reading their theories or explanations or whatever, other channels. You know, people were telling me this channel thinks this and that channel thinks that. Well, it's the Highwaymen, and we've been saying it. Now everyone's going to get on board with it. And in the sneak peek, just go to AMC's YouTube channel. It's right there if you want to see it firsthand. You see that Ezekiel reads the letter, and then Carol gets the letter as well. And they're talking about what should we do and what kind of group could it be. And Diane brings up Jed's saviors, and I guess Carol didn't tell them that she killed all that group of the Marauders. And it's just kind of interesting. So you see the note from the Highwaymen that, you know, it's folded down so the symbol would be right side up, you know, because it'd be folded in half, so it's there. But you look at the candles behind Carol and another set behind Ezekiel. And I'm excited to see what happens with the Highwaymen. I want to see if it makes sense. Some people are hoping they're not like the Claimers, you know, the group that Daryl is with. But I wonder what happens with the Highwaymen going forward and really with the groups, because, you know, the fair is already under attack and it didn't even happen yet. But we see Jerry looking down a road, and I'm guessing he's looking at the Highwaymen, and they set up a trap or something for the Highwaymen. And it's interesting because I don't think Ezekiel is going to kill the Highwaymen unless they have to, unless they attack Jerry's group. But if you look at the picture right there, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people riding horses. So it's hard to make out how many are actually there, but maybe it's 4 or 5 Highwaymen. And I'm guessing this is the Highwaymen, but it could be something that's connected with Hilltop or another group. But there's so many questions right now, and I'm excited. Maybe the Highwaymen put this tree here, or maybe the tree just fell down. But my question is, who are the Highwaymen, and why did they think it was okay to just show up and demand things? The group's got to be pretty big if they're blocking all the roads, right? I mean, they could gather a bunch of people over 7.5 years. Where have they been? I don't know. Can't wait to find out. But it's just like, all right, I don't know about that. Again, I just hope it makes sense. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 horses right there. And I believe this guy right here is one of the Highwaymen. Early on, people believed his name was Oscar. It could be Ozzy. It could be Oswald. I don't know. It could be something totally different. But I believe he's part of the Highwaymen. Some people are like, who is this guy? Is he a Whisper? Is he this? Is he that? Because the Whispers infiltrate the fair. So that's going to happen at some point. And people were thinking maybe this guy goes in his disguise and causes that. That could happen. But I just don't think my information doesn't confirm that. But I want to see what's up with this guy. And I have an inclination, a theory, that the Highwaymen are part of the group or are responsible for the X scars on Michonne and Daryl's back. And that's just a theory. Because what do the X scars mean? It's not a kidney transplant. Something happened in a messed up way is what Michael Cutlet said about Daryl and Michonne's scars in episode 907. We gotta wait potentially another episode because I believe the title of episode 914 is Scars. X scars, scars. I mean, it just makes sense. So I believe we'll have a flashback in episode 914 where it's all explained. Also in episode 909, Daryl and Michonne were the only ones talking about Rick going out looking for Rick. So what if they both went out looking for Rick and they came across the Highwaymen? And by the letter that's given to Ezekiel, the Highwaymen are trying to get supplies and survive and really have a ransom. You do this and this will happen. You do that and that'll happen. Well, what if Daryl and Michonne, because Daryl and Michonne are the only ones that have the X scars. And Daryl said on The Talking Dead, well, Norman Reedus said on The Talking Dead that Michonne and Daryl are the only ones that know about the X scars and know what happened. They didn't tell anybody evidently. So they're holding this in. And it would be kind of crazy if the Highwaymen are connected with that, and it would put a little more story behind them. Because it's almost like, boop, Highwaymen are coming. And people are like, who is that? Well, that doesn't make sense. I just would have a little more backstory in the flashback since Rick went away over the 6 years and the Highwaymen were there and they were traveling all around and Daryl and Michonne came across them when they were out looking for Rick. But the fair is not something good. It should just be stopped or canceled or just put on hiatus right now. You got the whispers, you got the Highwaymen stuff, and it's just crazy, right? Too much is not in the favor of the fair. Michonne doesn't want to do it, but then she's letting people go there, and that's going to backfire. You know that's going to happen. But the fair is going to be a point of interest in probably episode 915 and 16, maybe 914 as well. But Carol, looking on with Diane, Ezekiel, Jerry, and at least a couple more Kingdomers, are going to run into the Highwaymen in episode 913, and I wonder how this goes. And I said it in my promo trailer breakdown that I just feel like Ezekiel's not going to kill them because Ezekiel is not all about that. He's about people building for the future, and maybe he can help the Highwaymen and they can help them as well, and they can work together going forward because building for the future requires people. The right people though. But maybe the Highwaymen are good people. They're just stranded and they're not sure what to do because people need food and water, and there's not an abundance of that. So I don't know if they're just trying to, be pirates and just steal from people, kind of like new saviors. And I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what's up with this storyline, and it could be a nice little twist. Like I said, I just hope the Highwaymen make sense and it's just not like filler, because sometimes it is. Sometimes like, fill in the gaps a little bit. And is it necessary? Because we already had the whispers. And that's clearly a big enough problem. And the whispers don't know about the kingdom, and the kingdom don't know about Jesus, Hilltop, Alpha, Beta, the Whispers, really anything right now. They're secluded. They don't even know about Jed and the Saviors, the Marauders that Carol killed. That's just crazy that some people know stuff they don't know. You're not in the know. And I believe that Carol likes to keep things from the kingdom because it's one of those living in a bubble. The outside world, the zombie apocalypse, you got to keep it. Everything's hunky-dory and everything's great, right? But that's not real. The Walking Dead zombie apocalypse is not a great place. But Ezekiel is painting this picture that everything's great in the kingdom and we're doing great. The fair, the Highwaymen, the Whispers are going to be a big dose of reality, a reality check for the kingdom. Carol's probably ready for it and she's expecting things. When we first saw the symbol, she's like, life is great. We got a projector bulb and we're doing all right. And we see this symbol and then all hell breaks loose, right? The symbol comes around, the whispers are going to eventually come around, the fair is going to break down. The fair is going to happen and it's going to be something that shouldn't happen and people are going to be second guessing this, like Ezekiel and Michonne, and you shouldn't have done this and you shouldn't have done that. But that's just my theory and information and discussion about the Highwaymen, what we may see in episode 913 and the rest of the episodes for 14, 15, and 16 of season 9 of The Walking Dead. And I'm excited. And I think Angela Kang is doing a great job as showrunner. And really season 9 has been good, if not great. So even the weakest episodes were good. And I'm just excited more and more and more. The Whispers, Alpha, Beta, Daryl versus Beta next week. Man, I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts, post your comments below, like, share, subscribe, and if you want to be part of the awesome Walking Dead channel and a valued member of our PT channel Walking Dead family, just hit that subscribe button. And remember guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself, you can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, and as always, tell them Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.